I saw you with the box. What was in the box?
Seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box?
Not till you give me the
What's
gun.
in the box?
Give me the gun.
Now, what's happening concurrently in our state, not too far up the road, a couple hours up the road from where we are, in a federal prison in Tallahassee, is that Ghislaine Maxwell is, for the first time ever, getting an interview with the federal government. I find this bewildering, actually. Ghislaine Maxwell is not an innocent party here. Based on all available evidence, she is one of the world's most grotesque monsters. According to all available evidence and many of the witness statements, she was sort of the recruiter for Jeffrey Epstein. And she was a known and willing accomplice in these crimes. She's not innocent. However, she is the key to everything, and she does know what happened and what didn't. And she seems to be cooperating with the feds. I'll be very interested to see what comes of it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's read just the top line here from the Daily Mail. Daily Mail. Ghislaine Maxwell answered every single question during a secret meeting with Trump's DOJ amid Epstein cover-up claims. Now, Todd Blanche is the one doing this meeting. Todd Blanche is the dude who defended President Trump in so many of his lawsuits. He knows President Trump as well as anybody. He's a fine lawyer, and he's somebody who is, got rock ribs. You know what I mean? Like he's a tough brawler of a lawyer. British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell answered every question from Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General, during a closed-door meeting. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche flew down to Florida to sit down in person with convicted child sex trafficker as the MAGA base demands answers of what she knew about Jeffrey Epstein. Not just the MAGA base, you dumbasses. Everyone. But yeah, sure, the MAGA base. I'm like perfectly happy. Mike Ben says you can't un-MAGA this issue, and I agree with him. You can't un-MAGA this. You MAGA'd the issue. President Trump justifiably and righteously began his warpath against our predator elites. A warpath that he won, by the way. He's in office with more power than ever. He won. He defeated the satanic elites. Trump should be deeply proud of that. And now they're going to try and turn their sins around on him? No, damn it. That's why we keep fighting. Here we go. Maxwell took a full day of questions. Ms. Maxwell answered every single question. She never stopped. She never invoked a privilege. She never declined to answer, and she answered all the questions truthfully and honestly and to her ability, says her attorney who was in the meeting. Blanche arrived at the federal courthouse at 9 a.m. Maxwell's attorneys were seen entering the building. She's 63 years old. She's serving a 20-year sentence at a low-security prison in Tallahassee, and the only person serving time behind bars for Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. Attorney General Pam Bondi announced that Blanche would be interviewing Maxwell to find out what she knows. I'm prone to say this is a very, very positive thing. I'm not in the meeting. I don't have any more information than you do right now on this, but I believe that the more sunlight, the more disinfectant. And the fact that Maxwell has never spoken, has never even been asked for a meeting by the feds on this issue is a huge red flag. Here's what President Trump has to say about the meeting and how it's going right now.
Well, I don't know about the meeting. I know it's taking place, and he's a fantastic man. He's a great attorney, and people should really focus on how well the country's doing, or they should focus on the fact that Barack Hussein Obama led a coup, or they should focus on the fact that Larry Summers from Harvard, that Bill Clinton, who you know very well, and lots of other friends, really close friends of Jeffrey Summers, should be spoken about. Because, you know, Jeffrey Epstein should be spoken about. And they should speak about them, because they don't talk about them. They talk about me. I have nothing to do with the guy.
Do you want to shut them up? You want to shut everyone up about this? Just drag the Clintons out. Just drag them out one more time and say, yo, let's go ahead and look at Bill. Let's go look at Bill. Because if you looked at Bill, then you'd have to start asking questions about guys like Kevin Spacey. If you looked at Bill Clinton, if you redirected here and said they're the criminals, just like he's doing with Obama right now. Barack Hussein Obama. When Donald Trump, Donald Trump's serious when he pulls out the Hussein. When you spin it around, ladies and gentlemen, they'll stop. They'll shut up. They'll shut up because you're going to have to find the answer to this question. Can we hear him? You're going to have to find the answer to this.
Trip to South Africa because there were these young girls, and we were like, "What? Who is this guy?" So I will say this:
there were young girls on those flights.
There were young girls on those flights. Yeah.
With Bill Clinton, there were young girls on the flights. I doubt that you have a friend who has a private jet. I really highly doubt you have a friend who has a private jet the size of Jeffrey Epstein's. Jeffrey Epstein's jet was the same jet that Air Force One jet. It's a massive jet, private rooms and everything. It's an enormous jet. It costs $80,000 an hour to operate this jet. So I doubt you have. I don't have friends like that. Okay, maybe you do. I don't think so. But even if you did, let's say they invited you on the jet and a bunch of little kids came out, like a bunch of little girls come out in their underwear and start dancing. What the hell would you do? I'm telling you, I would reach for a parachute and like smash a window and jump. Like I would, it's like, because that's the end of your life. I mean, it's like, not only is it of course deeply immoral, I'd be worried about my soul and where I'd spend eternity. Not only is it deeply immoral, of course, sick and evil, but also clearly something's wrong here. Not only about my soul in eternity, but when that plane lands, what photos are there of me on this plane? Like what videos are there of me? Like what? This is gonna destroy everything. My family, my life. Everything's wrong. I'll do anything to get that plane to land and to get the hell off it, and then to call the authorities as soon as I could. Hopefully the authorities waiting there at the airport. There's a bunch of little kids on this plane. This jet took off and those little kids came out. Arrest that man, officer. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm reporting it. Wouldn't you? Isn't that what you would do? This Kevin Spacey being like, yeah, these little girls came out and started dancing. Like, we just thought it was normal. We just, it looked bad for Bill, but like, I guess that's just part of the thing. No! What? So, of course, a Clinton Global Initiative plane, you see. Maybe the little girls were from Haiti. If you know, you know. Okay. So this is the correct vector of attack. Good, President Trump. Ghislaine Maxwell offering boxes of evidence. What is this? Here's photos. Very blurry photos, but nonetheless, because they have to be taken from a very far distance away. Photos of Ghislaine Maxwell carrying, like, entire boxes of evidence into her meetings with the Fed. I don't know what that is, but there it is. That's Ghislaine. There are the boxes. What is it? What is that? It clearly looks like documents. What are they? Ghislaine Maxwell holds mysterious box as she returns to Florida prison after meeting with Trump's DOJ. What does Ghislaine Maxwell have? The disgraced British socialite, wearing all brown, handcuffed in the front, was led through a barbed wire laced fence in the area in front of the prison. Two guards remained outside of the brick building. Before the doors opened, the former girlfriend of the late sex offender was uncuffed and walked inside carrying her box with her. Maxwell had been outside of the prison for hours as she had met with the Deputy Attorney General Tom Blanche inside of the U.S. Attorney's office in Tallahassee. Today I met with Ghislaine Maxwell, says Blanche in a post on X. I will continue to interview her tomorrow. That's ongoing. That's happening right now. The Department of Justice will share additional information on what's going on in the appropriate time. Well, you can't argue that they aren't trying here. Maxwell reportedly answered all of the DOJ questions honestly. Okay, here's what a lawyer has to say. Her lawyer is David Oscar Marcus, is his name. And he said it was a great meeting. Well, I mean, if he's happy, what exactly does that mean? Again, I'm not telling you that Ghislaine Maxwell's the good guy here. She's not. But she does know. She is the key to everything. So here we go.
Productive day today with the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, and Ghislaine Maxwell. First, we want to thank the Deputy Attorney General for being so professional with all of us and for meeting with us. He took a full day and asked a lot of questions, and Ms. Maxwell answered every single question. She never stopped, she never invoked a privilege. She never declined to answer. She answered all the questions truthfully, honestly, and to the best of her ability. And that's all the comment we're gonna have today about the meeting. We don't wanna comment about the substance of the meeting for obvious reasons, and we'll go from there. So thank you all so much.
Will you guys be coming back for a second day?
We're not gonna comment on that now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
I guess I don't know what to make of it other than, you know, that we've been saying for the entire, what are we on, like 3 weeks of this now? July 6th was when they dropped that infamous memo. Oh my God. Anyway, July 6th was when they did it. So yeah, now we're in the last week of July. Goodness gracious. But same thing we've been saying. Clearly someone's lying. Clearly the government is withholding, and out with it. Out with it. And if it destroys Bill Clinton forever, and if it destroys the Democrat Party, or if it destroys evil countries who are operating and doing crimes on American soil for intel, then so be it. Let it all burn. That's what I say. Jonathan Turley is a wise legal mind. He was on Fox News last night. And he was saying it's remarkable because Ghislaine Maxwell has never had the federal government even try to get any information from her, which you'd think isn't that like the first possible rung of any investigation, that you like talk to the people who are the accomplices? This is what was so weird when we had that mobster on. Michael Frances is his name. And he shared a cell with Jeffrey Epstein. He was in the same cell Epstein was in. And that dude was like, this isn't a RICO operation. It's a cover-up. The prosecution is the cover-up. They're not trying to charge any of the people who are actually in on the crimes. In fact, they're giving immunity to all of them. Same thing with Diddy. You can't charge a guy with RICO without having a racketeering offense, without having a criminal network to charge. Ding, 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 ding. You charge the whole criminal network all the way up. That's how you run a RICO case. Dude's like, I've been part of like 7 of them. This is a wrap-up operation. The prosecution is the cover-up. Feds never wanted to even hear from Ghislaine Maxwell. Listen to this from Turley.
Send the Deputy Attorney General to interview Ghislaine Maxwell. I think they want full control of this. This is what her brother is saying in a statement. She would be putting before a court material new evidence that was not available to the defense at her 2021 trial, which would have had a significant impact on its outcome. Is she going to get something in return? I mean, there's really no motivation to talk with the feds unless she gets some type of deal. What could that deal be?
Right, Lawrence, that's really the key question here. There is the thing called a 5K 1.1 motion that the Justice Department can file for cooperation to reduce a sentence. That's usually when someone is a key witness in the prosecution of a third party. The defense can also go to a court and ask for a reduction based on new evidence, but we haven't seen that. She was convicted and given 20 years. And so the question is, if there's something there, why haven't they revealed it so far? The third possibility is a commutation, more likely than a pardon from the president, maybe at the end of his term, if she is a highly cooperative witness. So all of those are possibilities for Maxwell. The question is what she has. I was surprised in speaking with a member of the legal defense team a couple days ago when they said the reports that she had been previously interviewed by federal and state prosecutors, investigators, was not true.
What?
That she had never been interviewed. Yes, and despite all of these past investigations in this scandal, I was really taken aback by that. So if that's true, she could be an untapped source of new information. The question is, what is that information? Is it just salacious, or is it something more that would reveal criminal conduct?
Ghislaine Maxwell, 1961 to next week or so. Dark. It's Gallows Humor. It's Gallows Humor. It's Friday. Ladies and gentlemen. You boy. Those are the memes being shared. I don't know, man. I'm hoping for everything. I'm hoping that they actually let Ghislaine Maxwell speak, explain everything, talk to the American people, that they release all of the documents. I hope that the Clintons get a chance to actually answer for their relationship. I hope that President Trump continues the wise and smart, age-old, decades-old tactic of saying, Bill Clinton has something to hide. Why don't you ask him? And before we get to our first guest, just a reminder that Bill Clinton has never been asked about this on the record. Isn't it obscene that the Clintons go on MSNBC? They literally have a tent, a lean-to in the MSNBC green room that says property of the Clintons. They're so often on that channel or on CNN. They're doing interviews, they're pushing book deals, whatever. They're on NBC. The Clintons are often and regularly being interviewed, and they've never been asked about that. At 20 years, and they've never been asked about this. Nothing from the campaign trail. Hillary Clinton was running for president and available for questions and was probably asked hundreds of thousands of questions in 2016 and beyond. No one's ever asked about Bill Clinton and Epstein. Isn't that something? Bill Clinton was asked one time about it. His response is, well, watch.
Any comments on the alleged allegation of your connection with Jeffrey Epstein? No.
And then Clinton looks back at the guy. Look at that. Clinton looks back at the guy like, okay. All right, dude. And do you value your life? The evidence, by the way, is Bill Clinton in a blue dress hanging in Jeffrey Epstein's. This is the evidence. Here, the evidence is clear. The evidence is Kevin Spacey saying there was a bunch of little girls on the plane that Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein loaned the Clinton Foundation his plane with the little girls on it. It was on loan to Bill Clinton's Clinton Foundation. You know who's also in charge of the Clinton Foundation? Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was once asked about this. Just one time. One time that Hillary Clinton was asked about this. Alex Rosen got physically beat for even daring to bring it up at a speech. Here we go.
You want somebody who's going to get up every day.
Hey, Hillary, why'd your husband visit Epstein Island 26 times?
Fast forward a little bit. You see here?
Is this really necessary? Is this really necessary, guys?
Clip,
Is this really necessary?
Have you ever seen anybody dragged out of a Trump event like this? You ever seen anybody, like libs go protest Trump every time he speaks live? You ever seen any of them like this? No. It's almost like you ask the only question you're not allowed to ask. The only question. The final little piece of evidence here. We don't have to play it because we've played it so many times on the show, but like Project Veritas, Amy Rohrbach, ABC News. She says, yo, I had the Clintons. I had photos of them. Photos, videos, victims. I had them all and they killed it. You know the name she doesn't mention? Donald Trump here. I had the Clintons, she says. Dead to rights. All of them. ABC News killed it. So it'd be really nice to see this strategy play out. It'd be a wonderful thing to see us muscularly start asking these questions, the questions that we've been asking for a very long time. And you know what? If you have nothing to hide, then you shouldn't be worried about it. The interesting thing is that the Clintons are acting very worried.